Is this you? Do you live alone? Or are you about to live alone? Maybe something in your life has changed and now you are about to find a new place and you will no longer live with other people and you are not looking forward to it. You are scared, you're afraid, whatever the reason might be and whatever the situation might be, you're afraid that you're gonna go mentally insane because let's be real, living alone versus living with people is two very, very different things because you don't have the constant mental stimulation that other people give you. I don't know your situation, but my situation was like that only about 9 months ago when I moved out from my ex's apartment. We shared an apartment. We had lived together for about 3 years. Living alone for the first time in many, many years as an adult, at least for me. It's a lot about discovering who you are, rediscovering who you are, reinventing yourself. For me, that has been a lot of things. I'm gonna show you in this video what I have done and some tips and tricks to help you escape the black void of loneliness. Before we continue on this video, I want to say thank you to today's sponsor of this video, which is my mental health. Without it, this video would not have been possible. And back to the video. So I know cleaning is a little obvious. I mean, we all know that cleaning is the first thing you should do when you're having a rough day or having a rough time. It's so obvious, and still I find myself forgetting it every time. And every time I surprise myself in how much cleaning my apartment helps everything, mood-wise. You know what? Let's just clean. Let's just clean. Oh, it smells so good. I just cleaned this shirt. Okay, playing over that last part sounds like I touch soap like once a year. Just wanted to inform you that that is not true. Okay, moving on. The second thing on my list over things I prioritize when I'm feeling extra lonely is le gym. Let me just ask you this one question. Have you ever met anyone sad coming home from a workout? Like ever? No, because they don't exist. Working out is the most healing thing you can do. And not only to your body, but also to your mind. And I'm sure you heard that before. Unless you haven't. Well, now you have. I like to do strength training because, first of all, it cures depression. But it also eases my mind knowing that I am investing in my body. Hopefully, like one day I'll grow into an old lady, but that old lady will not need help getting up if she falls on the ground or is sitting in a chair. I see so many old people struggling with just simple things like walking, and it makes me a little sad, but it also makes me motivated to stay healthy and build as much muscle as I am physically capable of while I'm young. I think writing in itself is a very valuable skill. Like I said in the beginning, you don't have anyone to kind of like to play catch with. No one's giving you a direct response to your thoughts then and there, but if you write stuff down, it gives your thoughts a form. It gives them a substance. So I actually had a discussion with myself yesterday on this topic because, let's be real, I like to talk to myself. And that should probably be one of these tips that I'm giving you because you can seriously solve world problems. I had a discussion with myself about the concept of writing. I found that I don't really write, as in sit down with pen and paper and like write a journal or a diary. I used to when I was a kid, but I don't do it anymore. But what I do is that I go on Snapchat, and if I have something to say or a thought that I need to immortalize, wow, is that the right word? I'll take a picture of myself or something else, and I write a text where I write down my thoughts on whatever I'm thinking. Maybe I'm feeling sad. I'll take a picture of my crying face and I'll write why I'm sad. And then I press save, and that memory with the text is saved in my Snapchat gallery for hopefully eternity. It kind of lowers the bar for me to even write anything because I am lazy. Like I said, I used to journal every single day when I was younger. I actually have probably 10 diaries from my earlier years where I wrote a small text from every single day. I wrote down what I did just because, I don't know, OCD, I guess. I don't do that anymore. I have become way more lazy. But again, it does lower the bar for me to even just write anything, because I think it's a good thing. I want to preserve memories in some way or another, and one way is by making these videos, which is great. A picture of me doing something and writing a text is kind of like, it's not the same, but it's a memory nonetheless. And I think that's a great way for people who are lazy like me, even if it's not like writing as in like Shakespearean, like here's my pen and paper. I'm not writing poetry, but it's something. I think something is better than nothing. I think writing is healthy for your mind. If you are good at taking your time to sit down and actually write something of meaning, I think that's healthy. When I actually write, okay, not Snapchat, like when I actually write stuff, like long form pieces of text, I guess you can call it that, long form pieces of text, like I am damaged by this industry. Long form, like now we're talking long form text, like just a literal piece of text that isn't just one sentence, okay? Whenever I do that, whenever I write something longer, it's always with the intention of showing it to multiple people or posting it somewhere. I don't know if that's good or bad. I don't think it matters. I think that as long as you do something for you and you get better at it, whatever intention you have, as long as you do something for you and you get better at it, I think that's good. And that's my take on that. Now we're gonna talk a little bit about creating and why I think that is important for not just people who see themselves as creative, but for everyone. I think everyone should create something often. It could be anything. Making videos, taking pictures, making songs, acting, creating performances, cooking, writing, gardening, it could be anything. I think creating is a very crucial part of being human, and I think we very often tend to forget that that is the whole point. And instead we have become consumers, me included. And it's sad. And I don't want to keep being a consumer. I try every day. I try every day to not be a consumer. It's hard. Not gonna lie, it is very hard. Because that's the easy choice. It's easy to think and tell yourself that when you get home from work, you just need to recharge by laying on the couch and scrolling on your phone. And suddenly it's 3 hours later and you feel like shit because you haven't done anything. You press pause on your life just to get quick entertainment, quick, dumb videos for you to look at as a way of recharging yourself, which it doesn't really charge you. It's more draining than anything, if you think about it. When you are done scrolling for 3 hours, do you feel energized or do you feel more empty than ever? For me, it's the last thing. I think creating is important. Now, it's not a secret that I like to make videos. I like to challenge myself and make different videos. I think making videos is the ultimate way of creating because it really allows you to play with all sorts of forms of creativity, I think. If you like to write, that writing is a big part of making videos. If you are a visual person, you like to create something visually good, like you're a photographer, composing images is a big part of making videos as well. And then you get to edit it and you get to decide how the finished product is gonna look. And no one is there to say, no, that doesn't work or that's not good enough. You are the boss of everything. That's why I like it. You don't get tired from making videos because it kind of like ties so many things together into one thing. Just creating something is valuable. I think most people have a lot more to them than they think. For me, I don't really think that I know a lot about certain things until I start talking about it and I realize how many thoughts I have about certain things. It's interesting, and you never know until you start. Now I'm gonna smoothly transition from talking about creating to talking about the next tip that I would give to anyone who's living alone and who's afraid to go mentally insane. It kind of goes a little bit hand in hand with what I just talked about, but it doesn't necessarily go hand in hand with it. It depends on who you are and what you like to do. But I think that going on solo dates, yes, solo dates, I know, scary. Going out in the public, showing to the world that you are walking around alone. You are going to cafes alone, sitting in a park alone. You go to the beach alone, taking a swim alone, as long as you keep an eye on your stuff, you know. Going to the movies alone. I am totally the wrong person to say this, but it's not as scary as it sounds. Have I done anything alone before? Yes. Should I do it more? Yes. I am inspired by people in my life who do this regularly. They solo travel, they go eat alone, they go to the movies alone. I still haven't done that actually. I have traveled alone. I did that once, and I think it was in 2018. I went to an island called Tenerife in Spain. I booked a hotel for a week. That was it. I didn't have any other plans than just going to the hotel, hoping for good weather and laying on the beach and getting tan. Now, when I got there, it was cloudy weather almost every single day. But I don't regret it. It was a very interesting experience. It's something about challenging yourself to do things that is scary, because being scared of doing socially not normal things is a social construct, and social constructs are not real. Traveling alone is something that I didn't like it at the time. I thought it was boring. I wanted to do a lot of things, but I found myself not wanting to do things without other people. That is something that I am now very aware of. So if I am going to travel somewhere alone, I will need to make plans for myself. However, let's go back to the main topic. I could be biased from living in a capital, because usually in capitals in most countries are usually flooded with tourists and people living alone and people who don't have the biggest network around them. So to see people doing things alone in Oslo, where I live, it's very normal to see that. I'm not sure if that's a city thing where there are a lot of different people, because I remember that before I moved to Oslo, I thought that was a little weird. In cities where there isn't a lot of people, I don't see it that often. I feel like people are a lot more merged. They go in groups. They rarely do things alone in smaller cities. I don't know if this is true. This is just an observation. I feel more safe here because I don't feel that different from everyone else, you know, who also do things alone outside, you know, in public spaces. I love it. I love that it's normalized. Just doing things alone, I think it builds character, and it definitely forces you to just do exactly what you want to do. You don't have to think about anyone else. If you want to lay somewhere, if you want to do something, like, you do it. You do you. Hell yeah! It's a wrap. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please, if you like this video, click like and subscribe. And if you have any questions or anything you want to mention about this video, leave it down in the comments and I'll respond to you. I respond to all comments. Alright guys, have a good one.